Rocky Mountain Construction has taken the roller coaster industry by storm over the past decade. They have not made a bad ride yet. Further, they haven't made anything worse than great. From hybrid conversions of unpopular old wood coasters to record-breaking topper track wood coasters, all the way to single rail coasters, this manufacturer has racked up accolade after accolade. I've been fortunate enough to have ridden almost all their operating coasters, so in this video, I will rank their top 20 coasters I've ridden as of the end of the 2022 season. Before starting the countdown, I want to note the ones I have not yet experienced. The most notable one I'm missing is Hakuge at Nagashima Spyland. I visited this park a year early and saw it under construction when I was at the park. I've heard this ride is excellent and had a chance to crack the top 5. The other two are near clones of rides I've experienced. First is Stunt Pilot at Silverwood, which has the same layout as the original Raptors, just with a longer train and modified profiling. Second is Wonder Woman Flight of Courage at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's Jersey Devil Coaster, just 1 foot taller and with an extra turn at the end, but I have heard it runs a bit faster. Lastly, I want to note I already have reviews published for every single attraction on this list except one, so check those out if you want more in-depth thoughts. Number 20. Goliath at Six Flags Great America. This coaster's biggest flaw is its length. In terms of track length, it doesn't look too bad, but it has a lot less elements than the other coasters on this list. You will not find the rapid series of bunny hills in this one. However, what Goliath does have is excellent. Both the large steep first drop and that large speed hill have excellent ejector airtime. Then you have two standout inversions. The dive loop has neat head choppers and positive Gs. Then the zero-G stall has sustained inverted airtime. And unlike some of the other topper track woodies, roughness has never really been an issue on this one. Number 19. New Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas. The original RMC used every bit of the old Texas Giant. No one will criticize this ride's length. The first half has some wonderful elements. I love the powerful first drop. Then you have strong ejector airtime on the step up into the first overbank, and that speed hill. Some may criticize the overbanks as repetitive, but they each ride differently. The second one in particular stands out for the tenacious whip. The second half does lose a lot of steam though. There are still plenty of hills, but they don't ride nearly as violently as the rides higher up on this list. You do have the superior Gerstlauer trains and restraints though. Number 18. Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. This Raptor is a tale of two halves. The first half is top notch. The first drop is one of the best in the world in the back rows. The ejector airtime is intense. You also have good airtime on the giant camelback and turnaround. Then the 3 inversions deliver too. The dive loop has excellent laterals. Then the stall and zero-G roll will leave you dangling against the restraint. The second half dials it back though. You'll still get airtime, but it's more like graceful floater. And while I don't find the over-the-shoulder restraints on the Raptors uncomfortable, I still prefer RMC's usual lap bars for their added freedom. Number 17. Medusa Steel Coaster at Six Flags Mexico. This was one of the earliest hybrid conversions. This one does not pack in as much airtime as the coasters ahead of it on this list, but you still have some notable negative Gs. Medusa still finds a way to launch you out of your seat into each turnaround, and the drop down the hill. This coaster's biggest strengths are its pacing and inversions. You rip through the layout, no elements are wasted, and all 3 inversions offer great hang time. Everyone mentions the barrel roll drop at the start, but that final roll is my favorite. I do need to caution that I haven't experienced this ride at its peak. In my first visit, Medusa was running slower due to the VR conversion. Then my second visit, it was running a truncated 5-car Franken train instead of the usual 6-car trains. Number 16. Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia. This hybrid conversion is often criticized for its length. There is no denying it feels short. While that is why it cannot place higher on this list, I still love the elements it has. The first drop and bunny hills have the usual power, all throw you skywards. Then you have 3 floaty inversions, including the unique reverse cobra roll turnaround. But the best part is the giant wave turn. It offers some of the strongest and most sustained sideways airtime on the planet. Number 15. Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England. This is what would happen if Twisted Cyclone had an extra lap, and coincidentally, this coaster is criticized for slowing way down towards the end. That final lap is slow, but the elements still work for the most part. The final zero-G roll has spectacular hang time, as do the two inversions earlier in the ride, and those final hills still lift you out of your seat. But the ride's best parts are front-loaded. You have a powerful drop, a gray-out-inducing overbank, and some abrupt airtime, most notably on the outward banked hill midway through the ride. I just wish the second and fourth turnarounds did not feel like filler elements. They are rare lulls on RMC. Number 14. Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. This is an underrated hybrid conversion. The first drop is one of the best of any RMC. It is a super steep twisting plunge. You get all the ejector airtime you'd expect, plus crazy laterals. It feels like a poor man's Expedition G-Force. Then you have 3 inversions that'll lift you from your seat, with that stall being the highlight. The inverted airtime hits harder, especially with all the head choppers while suspended upside down. A few of the turns are forgettable on this coaster, but the remaining airtime hills all pack a serious punch. Number 13. Railblazer at California's Great America. One of the original Raptors, this is one of the fastest paced coasters in the world. The train moves through the layout at unreal speeds. It looks like a cartoon off-ride. The first half is some of the most intense airtime of any coaster. The first drop mid-ride, dive loop, and S-hill all launch you into orbit. Then the latter two I mentioned also throw in wild laterals as well. And the initial pullout and turnaround pile on the positive Gs as well. The elements in the second half all take their foot off the gas a bit, but they are still satisfying. The coaster has 2 flaws holding it back from a higher spot. 1, its short length. This rides over in a flash. 2, the restraints. They're similar over-the-shoulder restraints to Jersey Devil. Number 12. Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. This ride is a mirrored version of Railblazer. At least when I last rode it in 2020, I thought it was running a little smoother and faster than Railblazer, but my overall thoughts on the ride remain pretty similar. Number 11. Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom. This hybrid can run wildly different year to year. This placement reflects how I was riding when I last rode it in 2021. This coaster has some thigh-crushing ejector airtime. The giant camelback is my favorite moment because it offers sustained ejector, as opposed to the usual quicker pops RMC is known for. Then that trick track double up just keeps popping you into the air before you can even return to your seat. And the ride throws in 2 great inversions. The barrel roll drop offers the hang time, then the zero-G roll has laterals and whip from the speed at which you take it. Number 10. Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. This hybrid feels like a longer version of Storm Chaser. The barrel roll down drop has a bit more punch to it, and you have not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive camelbacks with great and very sustained ejector airtime. The second half does the usual RMC things. You have one powerful airtime pop after another with the occasional inversion mixed in, and that's fine by me. Number 9. Wildfire at Colmarden Zoo. I need to preface this placement by saying that I think Wildfire was running slow for me. I visited on a cool and rainy day. I also was only able to ride it during the first 2 hours of operation, and I was often the only one on the train. The ride was still marvelous though. I love the initial sequence. The first drop is oodles of ejector airtime. The giant stall hangs you upside down for seconds, and the big twist and shout offers sustained ejector while throwing you sideways. The middle has a series of ejector pops and hang time filled zero-G rolls for diversity. The finale did slow down quite a bit, but I loved everything that preceded it. And this ride is a great setting too, utilizing both a hill and some wooded areas, and this wood coaster was still running smooth when I rode it in 2017. Number 8. Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. This hybrid is special for a few reasons. 1. It has the more comfortable Gerstlauer trains. 2. You have a legendary setting above and next to a quarry wall. 3. You have 2 of the best drops in the world that plunge down the wall. The first drop in particular is my favorite drop on any coaster between the ejector airtime, lateral kinks, and visuals. You also have a fantastic zero-G roll chock full of hang time. I know many people take issue with the slow section above the quarry, but that does not bother me. While the train is not moving very fast, the elements are all great, between the ejector pops or the lateral hang time. Number 7. Zadra Energylandia. This giant ground-up hybrid is a speed demon. It feels like a larger version of Goliath with a finale. The first half is sensational. The first drop has surreal ejector airtime and a sweet head chop or two. The giant turnaround offers strong positives going up and negative Gs going down. The stall will have you levitating in midair while upside down. And the outward bank turnaround is violent in the best way possible. But Zadra is not done. You still have several airtime hills, including this tenacious S-hill towards the end. And there are 2 fun inversions as well, including a step-up underflip loaded with head choppers. Number 6. Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This is one of the more unique RMCs. This pseudo-Mobius coaster features 2 tracks side by side. This setup has pros and cons. The biggest pro is that you get to experience both tracks on a single ride, so you get some serious bang for your buck as you have a really long ride time. The downside is that you do have a lift hill midway through that disrupts the otherwise flawless pacing. The main sections are action-packed. It is just one ejector airtime hill after another. Then each side throws in a sweet inversion for variety. The blue side is a 0G roll with shocking laterals. The green side has an inverted stall with great hang time. And if you get a duel, the visuals are some of the best and most memorable of any coaster. The dueling does not make or break the ride for me, it's just icing on the cake when it happens. Number 5. Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. The original Topper Track wood coaster is a special ride. The setting is a major contributor. You rocket through a heavily wooded hillside. The coaster is fast anyway, but that speed is accentuated by all the trees you whiz past. The only time you slow down is during the finale when it's advantageous to do so. You have a double barrel roll while climbing uphill. As you decelerate, the hang time intensifies. Everything before that is all about the airtime. You have a world-class drop with powerful ejector airtime plus stunning mountain views. Then you have some crazy airtime moments, especially because some of them are taken sideways. This coaster is relentless, especially at night when you cannot see a thing. I just wish this coaster was a bit longer. That's the only thing preventing it from placing higher. Number 4. Untamed at Wallaby Holland. This hybrid conversion is notable for having the most inversions of any RMC with 5. All those inversions are wonderful. The double roll at the start is my favorite. You have some ridiculous hang time and it's super disorienting too. Then you have 2 rolls with some more hang time. The rest of the layout is a fast-paced blitz of airtime. It feels like one of the larger RMCs just scaled way down. I love how it mixes in some larger hills in the first half with sustained airtime, then the return run is the quicker humps, many of which are taken consecutively. Your body will be tossed like a rag doll on the return run. This varied layout is why I rate it so highly. I do need to note that I have only visited this Dutch park on days with very heavy rain, so it is possible this coaster is running extra fast both days, which impacted the placement. Number 3. Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. Delayed for 2 years, this hybrid conversion had a lot of hype and it more than delivered. It may be RMC's most intense conversion ever. This ride is blazing speed start to finish, and it also throws in some more positive Gs than the usual. Then there's no shortage of airtime. The slightly beyond vertical drop has some super sustained ejector. I also love that giant outward bank, the reverse wave turn under the lift hill, and the powerful pops in the second half. Then you also have 2 inversions, including that wild death roll. It's like a barrel roll down drop with double the speed. The whip and disorientation is through the roof. I almost put this at the second spot, but I couldn't quite overlook the length of the next coaster. Number 2. Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. This hyper hybrid has been anointed the best coaster in the world by many, and it is not hard to see why. This ride may have the largest quantity of airtime of any coaster on the planet, and it's mostly ejector too. The first half features larger elements with lots of sustained ejector, including the vertical first drop, the sizable top hat, and the truly special outward bank that throws in laterals with all those negative Gs. The second half is more rapid fire bursts of airtime, and you have no time to recover in between. Oh, and also throw in 4 inversions. All of them get you out of your seat, but the first two throw in some nice laterals too. And coming in number 1 is Lightning Rod at Dollywood. This is my dream coaster. It does everything I could want. It has an amazing setting. It is magical to have a coaster this tall and fast hug the terrain like this. I love how the elements carve the hillside and charge past trees. And at night, there is zero light in the back half of the ride. Then the speed and pacing is off the charts. This coaster has no wasted elements. You have an underrated and sneaky forceful launched lift, and then you rip through each element. The coaster seems to get faster as it goes, and all those elements offer great airtime. You have a wonderful first drop, then you have 2 hills with sustained sideways airtime in that giant wave turn, and the twist and shout in the back half of the ride. Then there are some powerful speed hills, and most importantly, there's the quad down. You have 4 of the most abrupt, forceful, and aggressive spots of negative G's in the world with no time to recuperate, and it might as well be a quint down with a speed hump afterwards. I just wish this coaster was more reliable so it was easier to experience. So those are the top 20 RMC coasters I have ridden to date. They have 2 more coming in 2023, including Funspot Atlanta's Airy Force 1 and Hershey Park's Wildcat's Revenge. Both look to be amazing rides. What is your favorite coaster from RMC? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.